Hello, powerful people. Hello. Hello, powerful people. Hello. Hello, powerful people. Hello. And welcome. I really mean welcome. I mean the highest welcome to Crazy Positive Vibes. I hope you're staying powerful, staying great, staying awesome, because that's what it's all about. I'm your host, Durrell, and this is one thing I want to tell you guys about. There's this book, right? It's called Jottings of a Crazy Veteran. It's available on Amazon and wherever books are sold. It's about my mental health journey, the improving, and just the growth from it and what it took to really grow as a person during those times. And I'm putting this in a book for you guys and for others, maybe help others down the road. That's really always been my journey, improving, innovating, and empowering. And I don't know if you notice this guy next to me right here, this dude right here. Met him doing a bunch of open mics. What was the first one? Me and you spoke.
It was either Bridget's, I believe, or it might have been the Grand when that was going on. The brief Grand.
Oh, yeah, it was the Grand. I was hosting that night. So you're definitely funny, man. Why don't you show some little KARL Goldthorpe, everybody? This dude's awesome, man.
Right.
I said it right?
Yes, KARL Goldthorpe. You put the O before the R. That's the one people, they stumble upon. It's like, am I the one with dyslexia, or are they the one with dyslexia and they can't pronounce it? Come on now.
It's probably me. No,
Probably.
no, it's been a long day, but we're doing it, man. I love it, man. So tell us a little bit, KARL. Like, I want to know more, man. Like, what got you into comedy? Let's start on that, man.
Comedy and stuff. Well, I've been doing earlier in life some performing arts, like going on to stage. Like the last musical I did was in high school. It was The Wedding Singer, and I was Billy Idol and stuff. I had to dye my hair blonde for all that.
That was really a thing. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's the whole thing is out on Facebook publicly. If people really wanted to see the whole thing.
All right. Hey, you got to share that link after the show.
American High School Performing Arts. Yeah. So I did that, and other people said, "Oh, you do well so with acting," but I didn't like the script stuff. I didn't like to be. Plus, I knew my mind went into some depths of dark humor at times. So it wasn't immediately like into the pandemic, but I guess it was after I'd done a full-time job and it was no longer there, which would have had me work evenings, so I couldn't have done open mics.
Right.
But I was now at one that was the normal like 7 to 6 time period, in there, and okay, so I did that and just started doing open mics. Only did Improv Mania for my first 2 months, so I was only going once a week. But then after 2 months, then started going multiple times, and that's when I realized the improvement you really start to see, because you're doing it different rooms, different crowds, different people, doing it multiple times a night, so you can kind of test stuff out over and over again.
Okay.
And that's probably where the growth for me really came and such. And I'm glad I got into it. And in some ways, it's like I wish I didn't hold back so much, because maybe going into it, I thought I need to have the right situation so it all goes well. But no, that's not what stand-up comedy is. It will be a mess, a horror show, complete terror at times, so you just need to dive straight into it. And it's better to get those growing pains out now than later.
Okay, what's now? Like, how long you been doing it for?
Right now, let's see, end of May is when I first started, so now it would be about 9 months.
9 months, and you already have that lesson in your head.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just an early lesson and stuff, and I'm always trying to look for that there's potential room for me to grow, not try to get so much on my high horse or ride on my laurels or past bits I've done that I know people can get.
Right.
It's like, okay, how can I improve this, or can I now take these jokes into a room that will react differently, because there's going to be a difference between a Bridges laugh crowd, an Improv Mania crowd, a Woodshed crowd, and then doing a Do Better comedy crowd.
Oh, okay.
All the there's so many, but I want to be versatile in all that.
Right.
If you can go into all those different audiences, make people laugh, that's how you know you're funny.
That's very true. Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just that's the first step. That first year, finding that funny. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's like other comics that you sort of have like more respect for. It's because you see them at so many different ones. Whereas if you just see them at one, it's like you're only trying out this crowd. And
Yeah.
Whereas like others, like, okay, you're testing yourself out there. You're putting yourself into difficult spots. You're going through those bombs and stuff. Like I realize it with the new. It's definitely the new material. Sure, you can get that old material, which will get reactions, but
Right. Sounds understand.
Yeah, and it's just like, and sometimes maybe you go back to the joke, but other times you just wonder, why didn't I even think that could be anything funny?
Right. So you have a bunch you've been sitting on so far that you've been
A few,
thinking
I mean,
about?
some ones I've been thinking about, like one I'll do the thinking this week, using it a lot and trying to form it, is one about how speed kills and stuff. That phrase.
Wow.
People say speed kills, but what I believe what kills you is when you come to a sudden stop.
Oh wow.
And somehow make it at that. I don't know how to formulate that, but I think something such as that.
Like a sudden stop is in mid joke, kind of.
No, like how people say speed kills, like when they're driving and such.
Yeah, okay.
And so it's like I don't think it's when they're speeding it kills. I think it's when they suddenly come to a stop. That's what kills them.
You'd be surprised. You know, if you go fast enough, you start losing skin cells. It starts like just ripping off your face.
I feel like at that point, that's like the speed you're on with a rocket ship. And hopefully you have a protective outer layer at that point.
The glass just caves in.
Yeah. It's like, okay, we might have pushed the sound barrier with that one. It's like some supersonic jet they're testing out over naval waters. You're wondering an unidentified flying object what it is. Commander David Fraze is going to talk about how he saw these aliens now. Something along, but it's just how like speed kills,
right.
And
it is the
I mean, it would be. It's just how to formulate that. But I guess that's the thing with a joke. You find something that's funny, and it's like, okay, how will I approach this with the setup, punchline, or also what kind of joke is it? Am I going for something absurdist? Am I going for a play on words? Am I just doing like one-liners?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, and everyone's got their different style, which I love the different styles of comedy, and that's because they can be enjoyable even if it's not like my type. If I see regular people laughing, I can't say, oh, that person's not funny just because I'm not. It's like, if regulars laugh, then that's all the confirmation you need.
Right. You don't know what's funny. I'm funny.
I know the declaration of funny. Oh God, there's definitely people like that on our scene. You can definitely say,
you want to name drop? You going to name drop?
No, we're not going to name drop. Let's just say that we're going to use vaguely. Just talk about it. It's just certain people that think if it doesn't make them laugh, it's like this person can't be funny.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, also learning, I guess sometimes yourself over time how funny changes.
Yeah.
Such as maybe the first time you see someone, they're not that funny.
Right.
But like if you see them a few more times, and maybe you do see it start to change. Because I've had that with a fair amount of people where maybe like the first 2 or 3 times I didn't think they were funny.
Right.
But then I started to see like some changes, some improvements. Like, okay, they actually have something.
It's as little as moving a certain word.
Yeah, or how to do
like
stuff. Well, yeah, it's like doing new stuff, just trying out. Because I forgot if we said that before.
You did.
It's
That's the hard part. The new stuff, then you keep seeing it evolve and then evolve. The more and more you do it. And
yeah, because it's like if you have new stuff, you're constantly putting yourself. Whereas if you just stick with the act, and I'm not someone who wants to be known for, just these specific bits, or you can easily predict, he's about to do this next. He's about to, because those are just the comics where those are the ones where I'll walk out of the room.
When is exactly okay.
Yeah, because it's more like I'm gonna see no variety. I've realized now. Give it a few times, because before the ones that I thought the first time weren't good, but then I saw them again. So, they are good.
They are okay.
Yeah, it's I can't. A first impression isn't as good with a comic. Now after 3 or 4. Then you might want to take some indicators of what they are. It's fine exactly who they are. But, I mean, I like doing around here. I think this was a good place for me, mainly because there's, like, at least driving, getting to it, it seems like how everything's connected, whether some in the West Valley, even though I live in the East Valley, getting to, but there's still a fair amount. I know other places have more mics, obviously, and such, but that's good. I think the crowds there are fairly good, I guess I say the comic crowds that go there. And the people here, while we may have so many different, let's say, places we started in life, I feel at least there's a similar mentality where we are to joking. Because some people, let's just say them normies, they will take it at face value, what you say or make jokes about.
Right.
When they have to understand it's just like we're making fun of, like, let's say the situation or smaller. Or like Josh Harrison's making jokes about me, calling me boss baby or stuff like that. And it's like... It's like, I mean, I have to realize it's in good faith and such. Yeah. Or I think Jacoby once said I looked like a 16-year-old who smoked weed for the first time or something like that.
Man. Wow.
Yeah, but it's knowing it's not supposed to be like taken, I guess, as like an insult or anything. Just more like hilarious if someone was just seeing face value.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what makes, I guess, comics different from others, is you're willing to hear that stuff and go with it and not think, this person's trying to insult me. It's like they're just trying to get a laugh.
Right. That makes sense. Do they do it on stage or like just right?
Or like when you're like in a crowd, like
Okay.
I mean, they could do it when they're crowd working and they riff off of you. Like that's probably that is what Jacoby did say. I did look like the 16-year-old with at El Charo. I remember.
Oh man,
I know, but it was like funny in the moment.
That's
And I know with him, he tells me he won't like insult a crowd, but he will like roast people if he knows them or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I've tried to learn how to do crowd work better from him. Because get him on your side.
Yeah.
Like where he always like tries his doubles, like I like you. Like he'll
Yeah.
say something about him, like whether if it's really real or not. And
Right.
It's just like, oh, I like these people.
Right. That's
Whereas,
awesome.
like then he'll add like start roasting people he does know or ribbing them. Such. But that's good and stuff. And you know it's all in like good faith. No one's like against each other unless it's those people that don't interact or
Right.
get canceled for something they say.
Get canceled.
They're only canceled on Thursday nights.
Oh man. Drats.
If you know who, then you know who's canceled on certain places Thursday nights.
I don't know what you're.
Oh, remember that one from October? That
Oh.
whole controversy that one.
Oh, okay, that controversy. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that was a crazy. That was interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
The only way I found out was I went
Facebook
to El Charo, and the guy that was a part of the group just started talking about.
Yeah, that's what I figured out about it too, because I didn't have the app, so I wasn't looking on it. So it wasn't until before I went to Improv Mania the next day that people are then joking about it there, and it's like, oh, now I see what they're joking about. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's the thing. If you're always busy, obviously, you
Yeah,
don't
that-
have time to be on there like that.
That was definitely an interesting time in this area, but hey, it seems for the most stuff it's flattened out. Obviously, the bookers, they kind of like talked about they don't book them anymore, but
man.
beyond that, it's back to normal for the most part. Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, it's easy nowadays. The world's a little sensitive and all that stuff.
Well, don't bite the hand that feeds you, or in this case, the person that books you and
Right.
such.
And it's easy, you know, it's book, yeah. And it's easy to get canceled. I've learned that lesson. It's really easy. Well, if
you're really if you're really trying for it, you can.
Yeah, then like like, okay, so one time I said something shouldn't have got me quote unquote canceled. I said I jack off the racist tears. Yes, and that got me canceled.
People shouldn't take that at face value.
Right.
They don't, like, I could say it one. We have, there's someone in our scene, they have a bit about, let's just say it's doing something to a 2-year-old. In no way do I think he actually does it to a 2-year-old. He just found a bit out of it. But it's, okay, yeah. I mean, it's like with that, if anything, it should be just looked as a bad joke when it is.
Right.
It's like, it's a bad joke, move on from it and stuff. Yeah, don't, like, it shouldn't be taken seriously with these people, because I guess, like, we're all in a situation where we're putting our vulnerabilities out there. For the most part, we know we're not, like, superhuman. We know there's, like, chinks in our iron shields which will go down and send us down a horrible path of rain and terror that can only send you into your worst drunken nightmares. But but I think also when we're able to talk about our vulnerabilities on stage, we get hold of them better. Like just like the difficult parts in life and such.
There's a certain layer to it.
Yeah, and you don't have to like go straight into it with when you're doing comedy, like the stuff that's difficult. Just do the stuff you've kind of mourned over, and now you're ready to move on about, like a grandparent dying or stuff, or getting arrested.
Oh yeah,
there's all that.
That's stuff.
Because it's like, take your time, but when you're ready, it's like make a bit. Because at least in my mind, when I'm able to make a joke about it, I feel like I own the situation. It's like it doesn't make me like feel bad anymore. Now I feel like it makes something like hilarious with jokes. People laugh and such.
Very awesome.
Yeah,
and that's good. What's been one of your traumatic experiences you kind of
mine? Well, let's see. I mean, there was the stuff with like mental like health stuff going over, but then also just the anguish of getting arrested and stuff at times, just the pain to go with it. And it's just, I mean, obviously, luckily it's in the past, and it was done with so much time before that I was able to get this job I have in anti-money laundering. Because
anti-money laundering,
I know that could kind of like go up and like, oh, you shouldn't hire anyone with a record and stuff, but it's
with
like
the record. What? Okay, let's get into.
It wasn't force or fraud. Okay, we'll put it that way.
Let's get into that. What were you arrested for, KARL?
It was a violation of court order, which was a no contact thing. So, but it was literally with my next door neighbor. That's the thing about it.
Okay.
Yeah, in an apartment where we have to share the same walkway.
Oh.
And apparently by getting someone else of her getting some other guy to confront me, and me just responding to the guy is me trying to contact her, apparently.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I went over that, but whatever. She has her white trash Avondale family to deal with, and her father, who made her as a kid make her drinks and stuff. So she has her traumatic past. I should have realized that when she told me her and her father used to call the police on each other for stuff. It's like, she likes to get people in the I see where it is. But I mean, that's where I should have realized is like when the whole no contact thing, I shouldn't even stay there. I should have left. Get away from those troublesome people. They're only gonna rein you to a path of at best purgatory, and the worst you have been kidnapped like Patty Hearst, and you can no longer get out.
Right. Like Patty Hearst. So
exactly.
You're pretty smart. It sounds like.
Well, it's certain stuff I've learned. Well, obviously the Patty Hearst thing, I learned it more because it was the Bay Area. Because she was in Berkeley when she got kidnapped.
Okay. Wow.
And such. Yeah. And I don't know. I assume like with your book, how you talked about the one you have written, kind of those difficulties in the past and how to get through them.
Yeah.
Because I think probably what was the most sad looking about it, going through that, is feeling the sadness afterwards. And it was the only time during college where I was not eating, and it was not because I didn't have money in my account. I literally just didn't have an appetite at the time. Yeah, wow. It was like that bad. Yeah. It's like, but you learn that over time. It's like, you know what? I'm the one in control and stuff. It's like I through my like, I'm not the one that had racked up as much student debt as her, because she went straight into grad school and she doesn't even know if she's going to use it. It's like, you know what? God will handle her. I don't need to do anything.
That's good. So
if she gets difficulties in life and problems, it's like, you know what? That's God putting it on her. I have no reason to do anymore.
Right. That's powerful, man. That's a good mindset.
Exactly.
So you're a Christian, it sound like? Or?
No. It's through Messianic Judaism, which, I mean, has some integration with Christianity, because we are willing to kind of celebrate both. Well, put it this way. We'd celebrate Christmas too, but there was no baby Jesus you were going to find anywhere on display. Yeah. We'll put like Santa up and stuff, but there is no baby Jesus.
No baby Jesus.
I know someone had a suggestion I should make a bit, like we put like one of the farm animals in place of baby Jesus. It says like, we put this little baby cow right in place of where Jesus would be. I'm just thinking that it's like, this is what we believe. Because I guess the ways like Jesus was a Jew, but where it separates is when he was crucified and put in the tomb. Because Jews do not believe he came back to life and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he wasn't seen as a prophet. He was seen as someone who was a follower of it, but not like a prophet. So he didn't have that. Yeah.
Oh, so
and it's complicated. I mean, it wasn't like super religious. I wasn't observant. Right. Like, I wasn't having to observe Shabbat or not have any, like, keep kosher. I mean, we did keep mostly kosher, but that was possibly because the ground meats and the hot dogs that were kosher were cheaper than the others. So it was like, okay. So maybe it was cheap in that price. But I mean, it wasn't like super religious or anything. Sometimes we briefly went to a church for some years because it was after my mom's mother died, and I guess she started feeling a need to get closer to that somewhat.
Okay.
But then we started to get into my earlier, I guess, like my 14s and 15s. Is like, we're not really getting any value out of church anymore, so we're not going to go anymore and stuff. And I mean, I've been to this. Usually, when I go to the synagogue, it's usually when my like roommate's out of town. So I was like, oh, there's like no one for me to really see on the weekend. So I was like, sure, I'll just go by there.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was interesting. I have a Rabbi Bonder at Temple Emmanuel in Tempe on Kyrene Road. Shout out Rabbi Bonder. He was a
shout out.
Cool. Because I was able to relate with him because he did, I guess, baseball when he was in college and doing his religious studies, and I was a big fan of it as well. So talk about that a little. Plus, he was younger too, only in his 30s.
Oh,
usually the rabbis are like in their 50s, and there's some guy named like Moshe. And, that's a real Israeli name. Like you find a lot of Israelis with Moshe or stuff like that.
Oh, wow. Dang.
Yeah, there's some interesting names they
got. Well, shout out to the rabbi if you want to sponsor the show. Hi, how you doing? We do positive things here. You know, hey.
I got his business card with me. I know I've had the bit about the rent-a-rabbi services, like whatever you need it for. And I'm just trying to think like listing off. It's like for when you're brought into court, it's like for your marriage, your divorce, you're like your kids, like a quinceañera, you just want to bring a rabbi just for the hell of it. Why not?
Yeah, right. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's thinking of stuff like that to go off of my head. Just like ridiculous ideas.
Have you got that down yet? Have
No,
you said it?
No, well, I've said it multiple times. Oh, I've said it for
Okay,
months.
you got it out? Okay.
Yeah, many months. No, well, I mean, I'll do the other bits. So, and I have them recorded down. So if I ever need to give proof when I said it, it's like here's when it was. Yeah, no, I have that. Well, it was because there was a time where someone did think one of my bits I used was taken from someone else, but there was like a whole different point to it. And I'll say what it was. It was mine was about how 9/11 we'd think of it as a much happier day if the planes went into the headquarters of the Church of Scientology. And this sprouts on me being mad that they blocked me on Twitter for calling them a pyramid scheme religion.
So it's from actual,
Yeah, experience.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
what and the person who did thought it was me taking a joke. They did come up to me before, like I found out it was them, and they like explained it. But then that's when I told them my origin of why I came up with a bit. After they blocked me on Twitter, I'm like, ooh, I will say whatever I want about these people.
Enough is enough.
Enough is what? It's like, where is Harvey Dent? You just break into their place and start shaking people. I wonder what type of security they have there at the headquarters in LA.
They probably got a decent amount, man.
A decent amount. Well, let's test it out.
You could find out. Yeah, go ahead. You got it, Carl.
Test it out. Man, don't give me inspiration. All right, I didn't end up as a kid being a shooter and stuff. But if I do, it's gonna be at the. They're gonna use this as against me.
Yeah, man. Wow, you were out there.
They like to well, you know what? I will be the first former member who is an enemy of the Church of Scientology. I just like to make bits about them and include them in my jokes.
Wow.
It was just because like learning about them, it's like this literally is a pyramid scheme religion.
Yeah.
You have to pay more to move up into the church. What the hell is this?
What you just said, you would have needed that rent-a-rabbi service. I see what would happen. They would have had this played back. Would have had me saying, "Yeah, go do it, man." And we both would have to rent a rabbi.
No. We have to rent him for our council service. We would just put him there just as like a character witness.
Yeah.
Just that thought. But I mean, I guess that whole thought, someone thought I was stealing it.
Oh,
I guess luckily, even the person who thought was like told it was, they even came up to me beforehand. It's like, oh, someone told me they thought you stole a joke from me, but I heard it back and it didn't sound like the same thing. So even they knew it wasn't.
They just,
Yeah. Well, it's more like if you think someone steals it, you go tell them personally.
Right.
And then if they don't change from that, then that's when you take it public or like, go out for it.
Yeah. Or just fight them.
Or, I mean, if you really want to go straight to that, all right?
Yeah,
I was trying to think of a way of like peace and reconciliation first before we just start to go, all right, there ain't no peace and reconciliation. It's a search and destroy mission right now.
Right. So if they don't want to take it, that's what happens, you know?
Yeah, because if you take it to someone like straight up, because I saw it with someone else where they thought their bit was too similar to an others, it's like they'll change it, like they won't use it anymore if it really is that similar, because there's a level of respect, you know, who has an original thought, who doesn't and such, and sometimes bits are similar because we're near so many people, but
then we see each other at the mics all the time, and same few, then we're like, somehow we have all the same premises, you know.
It's like a lot of do with dating apps or like food stuff. Or, there's a lot of stuff on food or people that do the self-deprecation. I mean, well, the self-deprecation it can do well, but it's like do one or two, but don't make your whole act on it. Yeah, because it's like just make one or two just to recognize to the audience, hey, I know what I look like and stuff, yada yada.
But what if you just make that your whole act? What if that takes you to the movies? You're like doing specials, just self-deprecating.
I don't think we're gonna all be Rodney Dangerfields, okay?
Just like a riff on yourself, the whole.
We're not all Rodney Dangerfield, okay? We can't do that. We can't make our premise making fun of ourselves all the time like he did. In fact, that was someone, my dad, he didn't like watch comedy, but he would always recite Rodney Dangerfield jokes. He would
okay.
Apparently with him, when he had traveled to Australia, I believe in the late 80s, he went around telling a lot of those jokes, and people there thought he was funny and original. Little did they know he was taking Rodney jokes.
Oh, so did he do it in the voice or?
No, I think he's still at his voice. My dad wouldn't be as wild going to other. That's the thing about him. He's definitely more risk adverse than me.
Oh,
me,
okay.
I'm willing. It's like let's just. I'm gonna make these people think Americans are crazy in a way.
Right.
Yeah, let them if they haven't been, because at least with friends that I know that have been here frequently that are from like mostly England, obviously, but other places in Europe, they know they have crazy people. Our crazy people just have more cameras available.
Yeah. That's funny.
At least how because they know like in like England and such, it's like you'll find complete idiots there and such. It's like, but I guess in a way, ours don't really get as many TV deals as theirs.
Right.
As I said, ours get put in front of a camera, unlike their idiots.
They do.
Their idiots get pushed off to the side. Yeah.
Oh man, you got to keep up that, that look.
Yeah, it's like you have a certain straight on. You have a mission. You have duties, and that's what.
Here's the public. Our public look is, but this is what really happens. Yeah, that's funny.
You'll find places like that France. It's like, oh, you think it's all the nice fine dining. It's like, no, go to the countryside in France. You want to see these small towns with trashy people?
Oh yeah, not even the countryside, just outside the Eiffel Tower.
Oh my god, now you're making me think there's probably people like that outside. They're just wandering around.
Yeah, bro. they have a lot of scammers there, like really.
Oh, true. That is true.
Oh, you've been, right?
No. I haven't been there, but I have learned about the different scam techniques there.
Yeah.
Or I heard one is like, oh, they want you to take a photo. So they hand you the camera, and on the handoff, they drop it. Then they start blaming you, and they try to get... Yeah. Yeah, that's if someone asks you to take a photo, it's like, I'll do it with mines, or I don't know, airdrop it to you.
Really great places, but yeah, every place has their BS, so,
Yeah, and you wonder, like, with traveling to those places, would those scammer places, would they stay mainly in the tourist area where it's heavily, or would they kind of go to the outskirts and just look for tourists that are around there who are probably, they can just, vulnerable and, like, one-off they can focus on?
All over. I've been, I've seen, not been, Spain, somebody gave me, like, a fake card to somewhere. That was the
what the heck?
Yeah. I was like, I'll give you this if you give me $1. I was like, I don't want to do that. Thank you, sir.
Is that like in the time when you just start like going no habla español or like anything just to not talk?
He was speaking English though.
So he was speaking English. Okay, they're probably used to English tourists actually coming there.
Right.
It's like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was me and like a group of people. It was like it was a military trip. So.
Oh, okay, nice.
It's the first time I got booted out of a club. I was dressed right. It was like
the Spanish club didn't want you, goddammit.
It was like we were all, dressed right, but one of our friends was dressed like, for lack of a better term, a country singer. And they're like, no Americanos allowed, basically. So, that's what he messed us up.
We don't need you looking like Blake Shelton coming in here, you bastard.
Right. Yeah, it offended me. I got almost fought.
Damn it. You would think they'd be more inviting. Was that in like more Madrid or somewhere else? Or?
No, it was Sevilla.
Oh, Sevilla. Okay, so towards the south. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they're a little different down there. The Iberian Peninsula, who do they think they are?
Those beaches were amazing, I'll tell you that.
Oh, I can only imagine. Jeez, that's got to be good. Yeah, because that whole, like, along that area, I know Barcelona has the same coastline, more up north, obviously, but it's like, damn, if they're nice there, the ones that are close down to, like, where it gets close to Morocco, I believe, it's like, those must be nice.
Really?
Yeah, well, I would think that they would, like, there, because they probably have, like, a big touristy, like, setup in those parts of Spain. Because, like, where would you really go into the south otherwise, like, the beach, or if they have historical sites?
Right.
Like the southeast. Because I know, like, the northwest, that's, like, the Basque region, I believe, or something like that. So, I don't know exactly what's up there, but I don't believe there are beaches up there in the northwest or as nice as...
I haven't been that far. I went to Sevilla.
Sevilla. But that's probably got to be that one would be a possible for Spain, because mine with Europe, it was either start in Spain or start in Italy. Okay. And for the first time, I'd rather do Italy and then Spain and such. Oh, yeah. Because I feel like Spain, I can give a little more time in and such.
And you know a little Italian, right?
Oh, yeah, a little bit Italian. Yeah. Gracias tropelli, is trasgressioni se a lui sin adesso.
We're going international, y'all.
Exactly. Well, all I do is watch my favorite Italian club. I like to see the manager sometimes speak at the microphone, but he's that very stereotypical, like, out of shape. He wears sweats, like old Italian guy smoking on the sidelines. And his voice kind of sounds like, Granzio de Vizies. Just hearing it's like, oh my gosh, Mauricio, what are you saying?
That's awesome. So you learn more from soccer then.
Yeah, well, it's you have to hear their commentary, so you're hearing these different accents. But then you sometimes have to realize, am I hearing a different accent? Because sometimes in the north of Italy, they can't understand people in the south of Italy. So it's like, is this like dealing with people with that thick Louisiana accent? Like, ain't nobody down right here, down in the street right here. And it's more like, okay, I see where they might have those parallels. Or maybe in Canada, maybe those French Canadians, they sound weird to, let's say, the ones in Alberta. The Alberta, that's like their redneck Canadians.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, that's. I guess it's like they have like that rodeo there in Calgary, and that's where a lot of the oil fields are. So I guess it's like their kind of equivalent. Much. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a big country; it's their own thing. But most people, it's like Toronto, which obviously a nice city. Which I heard good comedy festival there, and the Just for Laughs in Montreal as well.
You got to sign up.
Eventually, well, I mean, those ones probably going to take a few more years, but the other ones around the country, like I know the San Francisco Bay Area because I'm from there. I was thinking, why not try to look for that one? Now, I want to say before the beginning of this year, they had already cut off the sign-up thing, but for next year, well, because luckily I'm like from that area. Luckily, I could stay with my parents and such, but even other places such as we have some people from our scene doing the Chicago one, that World Comedy Expo.
Oh, yeah.
But I would think like a lot of major cities would have something. Like maybe not every one of them, but you would think like Seattle probably has something. Maybe Denver has something. I mean, obviously Chicago and, well, New York's always doing stuff there.
Oh, yeah.
Boston probably has something. I hope Boston does.
You trying to go to Boston? Is that the plan?
Possibly. Well, I haven't gone to that part of the East Coast. The only part of the East Coast I've gone is like D.C. D.C. and then to like Virginia, Maryland and stuff.
Oh, that's where I'm from, man.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
cool.
My dad's from Bethesda and stuff.
Bethesda. I'm from a small town called Leesburg, Virginia.
Leesburg, Virginia. Is that anywhere near I gotta remember the freaking Civil War site we went to.
Balls Bluff.
It was. I think it was one of the. I can't remember. I know it was in the Virginia side.
Oh yeah, you got Bull Run, Balls Bluff.
I think it was one of the bigger ones. Maybe it was. No, it wasn't Lexington, was it?
Maybe. I mean, hey, there's a lot.
I can't remember. I just remember them having the whole thing about how so many Americans were like casualties in the Civil War. And even at that time, I was like 12, 13. I could tell. I was like, wait, wasn't it like Americans versus Americans? So yeah, you're going to have both sides die.
Yeah.
Like, I see how they try to manipulate these stats. Okay.
All the time.
But it was also interesting, going there. I went there in July, so I got to really feel that humidity and stuff.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, well, it made me understood why I wouldn't really want to live in the East. Because you go inside these Smithsonian museums and you still feel it on you. What is this?
You talking about in D.C.?
Yes. And also the amount of, I didn't realize so many hot dog stands everywhere. Like each corner, there's a hot dog stand.
Hot dog pretzel stand.
Yep, that's the normal thing there, which makes sense now, I guess, like how everything's built.
And they usually have the same
Yep.
tourist stuff.
Yes, the same type around there. Also, some days how it will be like sunny, but then turn to rain at certain points. Like, oh, you gotta expect that.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but obviously very nice places. I should probably visit more like Baltimore and obviously up to that New York, Boston area.
Oh yeah, Baltimore's pretty awesome. I'll give it that. The harbor, that should be like my family's trip all the time.
Yeah, around there. I just wonder like how the harbors, because what I'm used to with the harbor is obviously Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco.
Okay.
And it's like, so you have like they have their tourist stuff and the piers and stuff. You have the seals at Pier 39 going. Yeah. Although certain times of the year they aren't there because they go to like the north part of the bay.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's certain times, but I want to say if it's. I forgot if it's the summer or more towards the winter. It's like they go away.
What do those seals do again? What do the seals do?
Oh, they make this.
That's cool.
They do those. Oh my god. Those ones were technically sea lions, whatever they were in Pier 39 in San Francisco.
That's awesome.
Yeah, obviously those are like a cool thing. Like if you have kids, because it's like you're not going to a zoo, but you pay to see these animals just like make these noises and such.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then they do their journey where they have to make sure they don't cross any sharks that are going to eat them. Yeah. Well, that's obviously learning someplace that is near a beach. You learn if you see seals, there are probably some sharks waiting around.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
That's when you know it's most likely danger.
And then there's an orca somewhere appearing. Watching the sharks.
Just go. There's a whole food chain supply. And then what are we getting? Megalodon after?
Right after.
Some megalodon and such.
To the megalodon, so
Either that or we're dumping off our nuclear waste and that kills the orcas.
Or makes them bigger.
It depends how it reacts to them. It's like what type of chemicals are we putting into this?
It might be crazy stuff,
I think PETA might get a little mad at you for those chemicals, and it's like you might have created the super orca. But
super orcas have like horns and fangs.
There's gonna be like some undesired effects with this. Like it's gonna be a super orca, but I don't know. I don't want to say like it'll straight want to kill people, but will it become like male dolphins and they just try to like hump?
Yeah, that's probably what happened. Just a big orca.
That's horrible. Well, no more SeaWorlds anymore. Well, those were already going out the door. So
like they just go to the
those killer whale shows
to the shore. Just do it. You seen a dolphin? Looks hilarious. Just a big old orca just
doing that. Oh my goodness.
Catching like 5 people underneath of it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, gee, I'm trying to think like the size, like how much bigger is the dolphin to the orca? Oh my goodness. Now it's making those noises. You're saying those noises. My goodness. Well, this is whales doing weird humping dances.
Yes. Just like dolphins.
Exactly. Well, I learned that about dolphins. It was somewhere learning about like cute animals that would like hurt you and stuff. And there was the hippo or the swan and such.
Will mess you up.
Yeah, I've kind of learned over times that just don't directly mess with the animals as such. Observe them from a distance.
Yes.
And such. Yeah, but they're in their own habitat, and you know where their mind is. Like if you see a Komodo dragon, you have to keep making like the zigzag turns because they can move really fast forward, but like go to the side. That takes a lot of energy from them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with alligators, crocodiles, zigzag pattern. They don't know how to deal with those.
Oh man.
If you go straight, they're gonna get you.
Oh, so straight. They're like, okay.
Yeah. If you're just in a straight line, they're going to easily just go straight at you.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's at least a strategy if you ever find yourself being attacked by one of those animals.
Can't you just punch an alligator in the nose? Isn't that like one of their weaknesses?
Well, I mean, you kind of got to reach for there.
Yeah, right.
But, I mean, that also puts it where they're jaws.
But if it's chasing you, you want to stop it from chasing you.
Oh, turn a 90-degree angle.
That's true. You got to zigzag.
Yeah, you lose its track. At that point, you just got to lose its track.
And then you run back and sock it in the nose.
You come back with a baseball bat.
What's the zigzag?
Don't go to a Florida golf course if you're going to plan on doing this. Just attacking the alligators, because I know that's normal. Alligators just crossing the fairway.
You thought you got me. Act like you're about to line up a shot.
Like, and it's just to the side, so you don't think it noticing. It's like when you swing, you go up, but you just like run over.
We did it. So that's the.
Yeah, I don't know how those animal rights groups in Florida end up trying to regulate that or surveilling that or finding out how often do the golfers here just attack the. Because that wouldn't be here. There would be like coyotes or stuff like that going through. I saw a great video of it was like a coyote in like one of those sandbanks and like jumping out to get these birds and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like good to like go straight for one and then ran off with it.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, these people, they recorded at one of those golf courses. I mean, because you could tell it was Arizona. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just interesting seeing animals and stuff. I find just observing them interesting and such.
Wow. One time downtown at like night, I was talking to Jacoby, actually. He was going over a script that I wrote for him. A 3-legged coyote came out of nowhere. Like, just, I don't know. A 3-legged coyote. Like, it really was. I thought it was somebody's dog, but it was a 3-legged coyote.
It's Jacoby if he was a coyote.
Wow.
Well, he has his legs. It's just not functioning properly.
Did you watch it, Jacoby? Did you watch it?
I know I saw a video of this one. It was like a hyena. Its 2 back legs were broken.
Yeah.
So it couldn't really walk on them, so it had to learn how to move with its just front paws.
That's more like him. No, stop.
Exactly.
Stop.
No, he's got his left leg properly
really
working.
Cool
it's
guy.
the right one. He's my metaphorical father.
Oh, that's
exactly
adorable.
he's my comedy father. Him and Josh Harrison and Jonathan Gerber as well, because Lady Q said I'm like a Gerber Jr.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I am.
I just got to cut my hair again, which I will during this week. This is the longest my hair will be, all right? Someone told me I should put it up as a man bun, and it's like, that's how I know I need to cut it now.
Yep.
It's like, get rid of it now. This is dumb. I'm going back to looking like Seth Balance again. All right, we're going very short hair, a buzz cut. I don't need this big mullet of hair. Plus, someone said, Josh was like, it's a ducktail in back. It's like, no, that's horrible.
It really looks like a ducktail.
That's horrible. Why does it have to grow in such a trashy way?
Oh, man.
It's just keeping it short how it is. I like to do like 3 or 4 months in between, but it's like,
You got the Uncle Scrooge look going on.
Uncle Scrooge, I thought it was Ebenezer Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge from DuckTales. You're 25.
Oh,
so.
that's who it based. Okay,
That's
that
why
one.
I say
okay.
back here.
Well, because at first I was gonna say that Scrooge is based off of Ebenezer Scrooge, but yeah, Scrooge McDuck.
Uncle Scrooge. Scrooge McDuck. That's my homie.
I'm just like thinking about him, the stereotypical old miser with the money.
Yeah, that's what you're going for with that hair right now.
Maybe I could go that an Ebenezer Scrooge look.
If I wanted to make a movie about DuckTales, you're getting cast.
That's what Jacoby said I looked like, Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
If I made a live action DuckTales movie.
Or how he said, he also said it looked like Chicken Little. He's like, you look like Chicken Little. Put some glasses on you. You look like Chicken Little.
Is that your Jacoby impression? That was pretty good.
Maybe like his like voice, his like cadence with it, not really his tone. It's like, you look like Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Oh man,
it was like, why do I just look like all these ducks all of a sudden?
You really got a duck look. He kind of got you.
It's like if you get hi KARL, it's like you put glasses on, you got the big white forehead, you're Chicken Little. It's like, oh my goodness.
Dang, you're getting roasted. Was that El Charo?
No, that one was probably Devil's Advocate.
Okay, yeah.
But remember, and I think we talked about before, I'm fine with the roasting there because the people like don't take it at face value. They're not taking it to mean me. They're taking it like it's like just like to get laughs and such. Right. Like with Josh Harris and all the stuff he says for me.
Oh man. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm sure you get a lot from them. Those guys are funny, man. Shout out to Josh Harrison, Jacoby Willis.
Oh no, yeah, they definitely are. And
Hilarious.
I've tried to take when they give advice to me, just because I'm so new on. I tried taking theirs just like straight away because it's like, okay, within my first 2 years, if you guys give a bit of advice that's sincere, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sincere.
Yeah. Well, that's the one Josh Harrison got me to do the past 3 weeks. Don't bring my notes up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Learn how to do it without, because I guess he said when he sees someone go up with notes, it looks like a crutch they need to be on. So it's like if you don't bring that up, it at least just makes it look a little better.
It makes you more present.
Yeah. Like you're there to perform more natural rather than I'm gonna recite from what I have.
Yeah, like imagine we're watching a movie and you just find out the actor had the script just right there.
Or isn't that where you have the rolling script?
Yeah,
like for a newscaster.
Yeah, that would be horrible. I'll just be mad.
Although for those ones, they just take it scene by scene, so you only have to learn scene by scene instead of doing one whole take.
Which is smart,
like a play or whatever that one World War I film that was like shot in one shot.
Oh yeah, plays are.
Yeah, those. Well, I mean that you got to really memorize because at least with those scenes in a movie, you're just like, okay, we have this scene, so like 15 minutes. So whatever you say in a 15-minute spot, you reckon it. But then also there's so much time to film too.
I just want to be the dumb face guy. Anytime there's something going on, just be in the back.
making all the expressions there.
Yeah.
I think something I could like. Portraying characters in different countries, like if I had to do a British person, it's like, Durrell, we can't be going down in this way. We're gonna get in trouble with Mr. Crenshaw. He's not in for this. And just some, I could try to sound like a person from the north of England, or you can sound like Scotch. It's like, hey, you begin over here. Oh, you be thinking you're great and to hear this great. We be keeping the natural cheese.
Okay, yeah, that's talent, man. You can do the voices. That's
it's
good.
Wondering how to expand those. Now, I won't expand it to other places beyond Western Europe because I think that's when the canceling line may start to be with some of these audiences. Although, where I grew up from, maybe it was because I was used to that most of the population of the city was Asian Indian.
Oh.
So I heard them all the time. Like Chinese, Vietnamese, and Indian kids. I heard like those so much.
Okay.
And their parents as well.
And that was
very. I also saw how hard they were on their kids with schooling.
you want to show us what that sounds like?
Well, with like
show us those.
What the hell you think you're doing over here? You doing, Kenny? You got to do your work, all right? Stop doing this PlayStation. Stop, all right? Get to here. What the hell?
Wow.
And then with the Indian one, it was easy with like a good friend because every time I would enter in, his father would be, "Hey, white boy, how are you doing here?" He was like great with that.
Oh, okay, yeah, bro.
I remember seeing it's like, "KARL, is that you?" Or yeah, that was another way how like my friends' Filipino parents, they pronounce my name was always KARL. That's how they always. It's just for some reason I know it's them.
It was a strong R.
Yeah, it's like how like they. Yeah, that R, they kind of like drag it out a little. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I always base that just like, okay, probably how they pronounce that or something like that. Yeah. That's just how they form their mouth. Because it's all, I guess, how you speak, how you form your mouth, and the voices come out and such. So, because technically, I guess we can make any sound possible with our human vocal cords. We just have to form like our mouths and however the way specifically. But
I mean that seal was pretty cool. So I mean you did kind of
trying to communicate with this. Well, I'm too used to hearing them just be noisy all the time. I can't imagine like someone having to work there all the time and hear those things as being annoying.
It probably does get annoying. You're right.
Yeah, it's like it loses its uniqueness, its flavor.
Yeah,
it loses the feeling that this is my first time here seeing the seals. It's like, oh, these annoying things.
Like I wonder what they like talk about, you know? Like what are the seals saying?
They're sunbathing. They're probably insulting other seals.
Oh, do you think so?
Yeah. Oh, they're definitely. It's like, oh, look at Greg over there. For this big beluga, he thinks he's got everything in the world. They're just insulting each other, and it's like, I don't know what else. I don't know if they go through what is it, mating battles over there.
This probably is.
Well, maybe that's when they go north. They do their mating battles.
Oh, they do mating battles?
Yeah, I don't know exactly where they do. Do it away from the sharks, wherever they might be.
Are they dance battles, or are they just like...
Well, maybe it's like dance, like when you're in the water and you're all going around one of the...
Not like on land, like dance battle, like they set up probably have a DJ.
They set up a circle around.
Yeah. It's like a dance battle for mating.
I would love to see where that happening. Maybe it's happening at the Bohemian Grove or one of those places in the north, part of the bay where they go up to. Because the sharks typically don't come inland and such.
Right.
They're typically like in obviously like the ocean waters, but sometimes they come in because obviously like the ocean connects to the bay and such.
Okay.
Yeah, because people have been spotted like around Alcatraz sharks sometimes, but it's not like frequent. Yeah, it's not like a frequent sight.
So they don't go up. Okay, I see.
Yeah, I mean they typically don't come into the bay waters, but sometimes they do.
Oh, so
yeah, it's just however they travel and such. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's like most coastlines I think do have great white sharks.
You might be onto something. Yeah.
Yeah, because maybe not most, but it's like, let's say like here you'll find it. You also find it in the East Coast. You'll find them. In Asia you'll find them. Yeah. In like the south part of Africa you'll find them. So it's everywhere. And they're interesting creatures. I wonder how a shark, when they make shark fin soup and they have to throw it in the water, like how that shark kind of feels.
They just eat it.
I thought they throw the shark back.
It's a shark, yeah.
Well, they take the fins off, but then they throw the shark back.
The shark just eats the other shark.
Oh, so the other sharks eat it.
Yeah.
So it's like a big tuna roll now because there's no fins on it.
Why do you think they do it? They know other sharks will eat it.
Well, maybe they get other little small fish to come and eat it apart, too.
Of course, little fish are going to do it, too.
All right, all the fish are going to come and eat up on the sharks.
And then a big mutated orca is going to come out.
The big mutated orca has returned again.
It's got to keep its energy up. So when it goes to the shore. Yeah.
So it has to look for the shark fin soup, finless sharks now.
Yeah, guys, keep the energy up. You actually did it better. I was like, I thought I was watching like an episode of Free Willy. I thought Free Willy came in here.
Oh, good. Now, well, this is something I could say like publicly. I don't mind about that. But let's just say when with friends, when one, or it could even be me, like let's just say a very large woman is starting to hit on us after she leaves her stuff, one might say, I know it's messed up, but it's more like we're not interested in stuff. when they do it.
Dang,
Well, they could do it with a man too. All right, if they wanted to do it with, if they wanted to do it with a man, they could do it with that too.
Wow, bro.
Exactly. Well, I'm not saying anyone specifically.
Well, she's like a mutated orca.
Well, maybe you're into. Well, if she's a mutated orca, then I'm not worthy of that. I'm not a mutated orca.
So you're more of a dolphin guy. I got you.
Oh no! It's after I learned that. Well, stay away from male dolphins. That's the only, stay away from those ones will get you. All right. That is not a fun experience.
Dolphins will give you that work, my man.
All right. That's why when you do those swim with the dolphins things, it's always female dolphins there.
Yeah,
you're never gonna have
scary.
male dolphins you're gonna swim with.
Always. That's the one thing I'll tell you that I may seem fearless as a person, but nah.
If they have male dolphins there, that's a problem.
I tried swimming with dolphins once. It was very never again. I always thought like a shark would pop out of nowhere.
The shark's got to be here somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like you can clearly see the water. There's nothing here. It'll come out somewhere. Just somewhere. No, that's what holds you back everywhere. Like you never feel like you can take a picture with one of those little baby tiger cubs that they have because you think, oh, the mother cub's gonna be here. She's gonna come kill me.
Right. The and then I used to have a joke I was talking about like it was how scary it was and like thinking one of the dolphins was a shark in disguise. Like it's gonna take off its face.
Maybe you could make a bit about that. Maybe you can relate it to kind of like how Scooby-Doo each time they find the villain. It's like, who are you really? They take off the mask and it's a shark.
Like I'm like, oh, this dolphin's so cool.
I knew you were a shark all along.
So cute, man. So just let me pet it. Oh my gosh, I was a shark.
Yeah, something like that. Like,
hilarious.
I don't know if it could relate to the Scooby-Doo endings, but it's just like pulling off the mask at the end.
Yeah.
It's like you're a shark.
The whole time I got attacked by a dolphin shark. Oh,
a dolphin shark. Okay, now this is like a mutation between the two.
Yep. Dolphin shark.
Which reminded me, I finally learned the answer to the whole what came first, the chicken or the egg.
What's the answer?
Well, it depends how you define a chicken egg. Does a chicken have to lay it or hatch out of it?
Oh.
And whatever the chicken egg in your case that's how you know the answer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's at least, I guess, the specific way. Obviously, if you tell a kid that, they may not find it as interesting.
Right.
Yeah, but it's because I guess how the animals we see today, they were all mutations of some other animal, and they just grew in their species.
But when you had to make a chicken, the chicken had to be there first in order to.
Well, it's like, what was the chicken? It was some similar animal that had a mutation, which was the chicken we know today.
It was probably a mammal.
I think it may have been something like with dinosaurs and stuff
like a mammal chicken.
No, it's like those small dinosaurs, the really small ones that had feathers and such.
It was
evolution.
And it said, you know what? I used to be a mammal. Now I lay eggs.
Okay. Now I'm proud to be part of all foods at Wingstop and Raising Cane's.
Yeah.
And I'm the animal that all religions can eat me.
That's the reverence that a T-Rex gets.
Exactly.
See, it doesn't make sense though.
Yeah, it's like, why are we giving the T-Rex all this praise if they're just a chicken now?
Right.
Right. Where's the Natural History Museum? All right, we're going to tear down this T-Rex with these bones right here. Yep. All right. There is no reason. Where is it? The Natural History Museum of D.C. Get rid of your T-Rex. It is not needed anymore. You are glorifying the modern-day chicken.
That's a good thing, though. That just shows you the history of the chicken. That's why it's so revered now. And we can eat it. So
well, I can deal with the roosters and stuff because they're big and such. Maybe if we could do more of the cockfighting and stuff. I'd like more regulated cockfighting. I can't believe that's not more of a thing here in the U.S. You have to go to Puerto Rico for that.
Have you been to Puerto Rico for that?
No, I haven't, but that is one reason I would go to Puerto Rico.
To watch the cockfight.
Yes, they have regulated cockfight. Oh, it's cool. You could bet on it. They have it around in the ring. You see them, because you get to see the chicken when it's in its little, I've seen, the videos of it. They're, in its little, not a caged area, I guess, but it has, a number below it, so you know, right. I'll bet on this chicken.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it's, regulated and such. And
Regulate cockfights.
Exactly. It's like, cool. It's like, look, if we can't have dogs do it, can we at least have chickens do it?
Chickens.
Exactly. Why can't we have chickens do it? Okay, I get the reason not wanting dogs. We love dogs. They're able to be domesticated and stuff. But chickens, we're already going to eat those things, so let's just get it done.
We can domesticate chickens.
We could. I thought it's because they'll continue to peck at you and stuff. You can't get them to be tamed to not peck at you. I was
telling Kate, the Kate Durrell episode, told her one morning I was going for my run, and those 2 roosters started following me in the park.
That sounds like a bad story going on.
I was their leader. They didn't chase me or nothing. They just were following me. Was I supposed to feed you guys?
They thought you were the mother chicken.
Right. They just followed me.
I can just imagine this. How was it when you got back to your residence and they were still following you? Right. All right, you can go back home now.
Might as well, man. I live a mile plus away from that. But yeah. They followed me. Then I guess
they were doing recon on you.
Yeah, I guess so. Because the farmer, I guess that owns them, did a little whatever sound, whoop, 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 and then they just started walking back.
That's the mind control he has on the chickens right there. All right, you make that sound. That's what sends the chicken. You should wait till he whistles 3 times. Okay, that's when the chickens they'll start killing. All right, you can just imagine that he has the 3 whistles of death, and that's when the chickens just go crazy.
Oh, so they remember making sure I was good. All right, that's what.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, I was saying it was doing counterintelligence on you. It's just intelligence gathering. We got to know this man's activity. We got to know his route. That's done. All right, we got to know when he picks up his mail. All right, because if we're gonna drop a car bomb here, we got to make sure we drop off the right person. Okay, I don't want no news story saying we put an innocent mother and 2 children died because we put the car bomb. No, we need the target.
Just an open micer.
Just an open micer was the target. Hey, so some people are probably maybe not doing car bombs, but I'm sure people have done some very petty stuff to get back at other open micers.
Or I told a rooster joke years ago that they remember. Going through the rooster.
Oh, they're coming back at you.
That's what.
The word is passed around in the rooster community. All right, you see this man, Durrell Hearns, they have that board of the suspect. Yep. It's and they're we know here, they have the 3D imprints of your house. It's we know there's 3 exits for here and here. If a few of us wait around here and more around here, I believe we can trap him through his morning walk.
Can't make those cock jokes, buddy.
Hey, who do you think you're talking about putting in a deep fryer? All right? None of us. All right? Capiche? Capiche. I don't know why I make him sound Italian kind of like that, but that's how the chicken mafia is.
Chicken mafia. Capiche,
exactly.
Capiche.
I guess one thing I could relate into with the stuff, organized crime was through my work and stuff, and just learning about money laundering and stuff, because you could pretty much money launder do anything. If you can put money into it and it can maintain, hold value of it, or transmit value, it's then you can do it.
Really?
It's now I know the stereotypical thing is a small restaurant that no one's really in, or a car wash, or one of those coin laundry places, because that deals with a lot of cash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My thought was, why not do an unsuspecting place, like a daycare center or a zoo and stuff? Because a lot of money needs to go into that, and I don't believe those organizations check where it comes from. It's sure, we have 150 kids we regularly care for. And we have we have a 80-person staff. It's don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. We're good.
Exactly. It's sure, we're racking in 20 millions to this place every few months.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, we got to wrap it up, Carl. Thank you.
No problem with
it, bro.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
it was great to be here. Durrell Hearns. I'll have a DBG and Friends March. I believe the 1st of March 2nd or 3rd.
Okay.
House of Comedy. That's what I'll be on, and also open mics around here for sure.
And what's your social medias, man?
My social media. So Twitter, it's THORPE KARL, and then on Instagram, it's Goldie Gone.
Goldie Gone. All right, that's good. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Shout out to Central City Radio for having us, man. I love coming here to the studio, man. Really awesome people. If you don't have that app yet, you better go get it, man. Really good stations on there. Really good shows. Man, if you're not on, subscribe to the page, Central City Radio page. You better do that right now. Hit
it's
that
better
like
than
button.
Kama Sutra. Do it.
Yes, it is. And also, I'm Durrell. I did put up a new Instagram. It's DH Books and Jokes 1. Don't follow DH Books and Jokes. Some Nigerian scammer will come and ask you to follow a link. And
they want you to buy the new cryptocurrency.
Get the new Bitcoin. I'm like, Bitcoin the bubble popped years ago. Like
We're having Pekingese coin now.
there is no more Bitcoin, really. That bubble popped decades ago. Like 2015. It's not a thing anymore. Why are you guys using dated? Okay. I feel like if you're investing in something and you can see a machine anywhere, you might be messing up your investments. You got in too late, friend. All right.
Yeah, if you're going against a machine, it might be too late to make money.
Oh man. Thank y'all again. Hope y'all stay powerful, stay great, stay awesome. I'm Durrell. Much love. All right. Cool stuff, Karl. Thank you, bro.
Tremendous. Yeah. I didn't feel a need to end with insulting the Queen of England.